Our favourite guy to react to at the moment in rugby as a coach has to be Eddie Jones, and he knows he draws attention like that. He's such a unique person, and just the stuff that he says sometimes is quite crazy and outrageous, but sometimes makes a bit of sense as well. So should be interesting, this one. We're going to be reacting to Eddie Jones and Tate McDermott before the Bledisloe Cup 2 in Dunedin. Tate McDermott been made the captain, so he's there with the coach. And I didn't listen to the thing from the start because sometimes these conferences are just a little bit boring, and some of the questions are just like, duh, we know what they're going to answer. So they just ask the same old routine questions. So I like to get the parts where we get Eddie a little bit triggered. So let's get into it.
You got the selection wrong at 10. What gives you the confidence that Carter Gordon not only needs another crack, but is the right choice?
Well, firstly, I don't think I got it wrong, mate. In fact, I'm going to get it right, and the player will get it right. And to say that a young Tenry's first game, you've got it wrong in selecting is just a load of rubbish, mate. So anyone who asks that question doesn't know anything about rugby.
And did you have to, like Johnny Wilkinson got in his starting debut against the Wallabies in '98, 5 years later wins the World Cup. Is there a history of needing to back your young tens?
Well, if you know anything about rugby, you know that tens need time in the seat. Like, if you don't know anything about rugby, don't
Oh, low blows. He's giving it to him. Don't talk to me.
G'day Eddie, g'day Tate.
Okay, he's staring him down.
It's a journey for Tate from being overlooked in April to now.
By the way, guys, let me just say there what I find interesting there is he's got a good point. You know, any number 10 needs time to develop, but I think it's more the question of, Eddie, when are you playing these guys? Because he's playing them in the Bledisloe Cup, probably against the biggest opponents for Australia, you know, which is the All Blacks. Why do you not go for your more experienced player in a game like this? Now, I know what he would say is, yes, he wants to create a second option, which fair enough. But your other option you're not playing, so he's not getting game time. So why not rather in the serious games where you could get silverware like in the Bledisloe? I guess in this game it doesn't matter as much. But why not rather play Quade Cooper that's got a lot of experience, and then rather look at Gordon in the warm-up matches, you know, kind of get him into things. Or play Cooper in the first game when it was important, when you were still playing, you know, for some kind of, you know, accolade or trophy. And then in the second game, which I'm saying pretty much they would have anyway lost, but at least then in the second game, if you have lost, then you play a Gordon. It's just the decision that Eddie made to, in the first game, go play Gordon. And you could immediately see those two players were under pressure right through the game. It's not like these two guys weren't under a lot of pressure. What I do have respect for with Eddie Jones is the fact that he's now sticking to his guns, because that means he's building confidence in those players. And like he says, they need time to build confidence. So fair enough in that. The only thing I would say to Eddie, I would sit on his shoulder and say, Eddie, just remember, if he gets injured and you've not given Quade enough game time, Quade might not really be what you think or expect him to be. So that's all that I would say is he just needs to think nicely that he's got two fly-offs. One's very, very experienced, the other one's new. You can't just develop the one right before a World Cup. I know he's building a new team, and then you don't give the other one enough game time, which really is the one under pressure situations, which would be Quade Cooper, that you'd have to lean on, that you don't give him game time, you know. So yeah, that's my it doesn't mean it's right, it's just my opinion.
Eddie, can you talk about why you missed that initial squad of yours, and Tate, how that feeling hit you?
Yeah, quite simply, you know, Tate had some work to do on his game, and the great thing is he's shown the aptitude to do it, shown the willingness to do it, and has now been rewarded not only with the starting spot but also the captaincy of the team.
You can see he's trying to prove a point by putting Tate as captain.
Yeah, obviously, I knew better than most, and me and Eddie spoke about it around my performance just wasn't good enough. Particularly when you're playing for your country, you can't afford to dish that out at Super Rugby level, and particularly being the captain of my state, it was disappointing. So, yeah, of course I was disappointed, but it gave me the time to work on that stuff, time to freshen up, and time to get stuck.
Fair enough, man. These are young guys and they're being put under a lot of pressure.
It was good.
You got to remember that.
And, my form off the back of that announcement.
Is he the right guy to be the captain? He's young. He's under pressure.
To kind of nitpick through that.
He's young. He's under pressure. He's not had a last great game. He was tackled into oblivion. And then Eddie puts more pressure on him to make him the captain. When you've got a Karevi on the field and you've got other people that could be doing this. I don't always understand where Eddie's going with this.
Just finally for me, I'm flying down today, but did you train in the snow yesterday? It was an absolute blizzard by all reports. It looked crazy.
We trained, I'll tell you, there was plenty of sheep in the paddock.
Wow. Training in the snow. Training's got to go on.
Yeah, Eddie, I suppose looking at the halves, but more broadly, you've got 2 games now before the start of the World Cup. And we read
Only
the
2.
team you're picking now is that this is getting closer to the team you want to start to the World Cup, or are you still in a trial phase?
Well, you can read into it that this is the best team to play against New Zealand this Saturday.
Okay, interesting. He's saying this is the best team.
Can you run us through your thoughts in the back row there? You've brought Fraser McWright back into the 7 and Tom's gone across to 6.
Yeah, really happy with Tom last week. His work rate in that game was incredible at 7. I don't think we've seen anything.
He worked hard. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the GPS of the game from last week, that's one of the highest volume games I've coached in. I think the ball in play was 44 minutes, and Hooper had something like an average of 2 accelerations per minute. So he was outstanding. We're playing at Dunedin, and if it was still the old Carers book, we'd pick a heavy back row, but it's going to be lightning quick. And so we've decided to go from fast to 6, McBride at 7.
Okay.
Who did well against Argentina.
Guys that can get to the ball the quickest, I understand that. And
on Saturday, so therefore we're going for those 2.
makes sense.
You spent time with Carter Gordon this week, talking him through, his first run on and what you want from him from the second.
Well, that's not how coaching goes, mate.
We don't know.
Coming through, he's getting enough instruction from his assistant coaches. My job is just to give him the confidence to keep going forward. He's going to make more mistakes.
Why do you expect everyone needs to know what you know when you're the coach?
And when he's played his
Eddie.
test,
Eddie.
Or Mackenzie, if Mackenzie plays, the tip is Mackenzie's going to play. Then he'll cease to make as many mistakes as he makes now. Now, we'd love him to have a mistake-free game on Saturday. But the reality is a young guy learning his apprenticeship.
That's true. I got that. I hear what you're saying, but no need to attack the media.
Blokes like you. Right?
Blokes like
that's
you.
That's my job, to make sure he doesn't listen to blokes like you. You want to put rubbish
Bro.
in his head.
Blokes like you.
Well, I don't read your stuff, so I don't know, mate.
I mean,
I'll stand by that.
this guy's got a chip on his shoulder, man. What's wrong with him? Why?
The keys that you picked up out of that.
Yeah, look, if you break the game down into 4 segments, 0 to 30, we were very good. 10 to 40, 30 to 40 were terrible.
This guy is bad in front of a mic, but good. Good for me to react to.
So we're a bit like, a kite in the sky. When the wind blows high, we're going well. When it's not blowing well, we can't cope. So we've just got to get a bit more consistency in our game. And part of it is we've got a young team. You know, we've got a really young team. I think this is a...
This guy's clever. Don't get me wrong. Eddie Jones is very clever. He's just...
Have a bit of up and down, but what I liked about the team was how hard we competed at the
It's
start.
just sometimes gets very personal unnecessarily with people.
New Zealand team. Now, we know that's not enough, but we've got to find a bit more on Saturday.
Last couple online guys will come to the room, please.
And the easy thing probably would have been to stick with the status quo, some of the older guys. But that's not necessarily, in your opinion, is that just not going to win you a World Cup? And in addition,
Let's see
set the foundations perhaps going forward too?
Here he goes again. Watch.
I think we've got to improve the team, and we've decided to. Well, I've decided to improve the team through promoting the young players, and that doesn't mean the senior players haven't got a crucial role to play. You know, if you have a look at our team on the weekend, we've got 274 caps, I think, in the starting 15. We've got 260 caps in three players on the
Problem for me, what Eddie Jones... Let's finish it. It's almost done.
finishing bench. So that gives you an indication of where the team is. And we need to keep progressing this young team forward. And we feel they can be a team that's capable of winning big games consistently. And at the moment, we're going to go through a bit of up and down as we get there.
Problem for me that I will say is, yes, you've got a lot of caps on, but what's your most important position on the field? It's your fly off. So the fact that you just putting the young guy in and building his experience, what do you make the more experienced player think? I mean, you can be a fan or not a fan of Quade Cooper. He's got loads of experience. He's 2 games away or 3 games away. I don't know, 2 or 3 away. I have to check their schedule. But 2 to 3 games away. And, you know, he's kind of like telling you he's betting on the younger guy. I understand he's got to also give him game time. But should you not be playing your experienced guy first to get enough experience to tell him he's number 1? And then your younger guy after that. It's almost like he's telling Quade Cooper, I'm not interested in playing you first. But you know what? You're good enough to come on second half. Just to help me out. When you're taking the most experienced guy versus a guy that he's trying to now build up to be something. Just don't make that much sense to me, guys. I'm sure all of you have got different opinions out there. Thank you for watching my videos and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.